Ford just killed an engine, and nobody's talking about where it might end up next. The 6.8-liter Mini-Zilla V8, gone from the Super Duty for 2027. Officially dropped. And right now, dealers and insiders are whispering it's headed somewhere nobody saw coming. The F-150. If that's true, it changes what you should buy in the next 12 months. And if you're cross-shopping a truck right now, waiting even one model year on the wrong information could cost you real money. So stay with me, because I'm going to show you the confirmed facts, the actual engineering logic, and the one piece of evidence that could settle this whole thing. And it's coming later in this video, so don't leave early. Let's start with what we know for a fact. The 6.8-liter V8, nicknamed the Mini-Zilla because it's a de-stroked version of the 7.3-liter Godzilla, has been the base gas engine in the Super Duty since 2023. It replaced the old 6.2-liter Boss V8, and it was a clear step up the moment it launched. Same cast iron block as the Godzilla, same bore, shorter stroke, higher compression. Rated around 405 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque. Simple pushrod design, reliable, no drama. For 2027, Ford confirmed through the order guide, and later on the record through a Ford communications manager, that the Mini-Zilla is done. The base Super Duty engine jumps straight to the 7.3-liter Godzilla, and the standard output Power Stroke diesel gets cut too. Here's the part almost every other channel is skipping. Ford didn't kill this engine because it was bad. They killed it to simplify the lineup. Fewer choices, higher average transaction prices, fatter margins per truck. That's a business decision, not a performance one. And that distinction is everything. Because it means Ford has a perfectly good 405 horsepower V8 sitting on a shelf with nowhere to go. Automakers don't walk away from sunk R&D like that, not without a plan. Now here's where I have to be straight with you, because other channels are presenting this next part as confirmed, and it is not. This is a rumor. But it's a rumor backed by real engineering logic, and that's exactly why it won't die. The F-150 lineup right now leans heavily on turbocharged V6s and a hybrid, plus the aging naturally aspirated 5.0 Coyote. That Coyote has been a great engine for years, but it's been in the lineup a long time now, and turbocharged options have slowly taken over as the volume sellers. A lot of buyers still want something different. A simple, big displacement V8 with no turbo plumbing to eventually fail on them. No wastegates, no charge pipes, nothing extra between them and the road. That's the exact customer the Mini-Zilla already won over in the Super Duty, going up against a diesel that costs thousands more. Ford has the tooling, Ford has the proven platform, and Ford has a growing hole in the F-150 lineup for precisely this kind of engine as the Coyote ages. Slotting the 6.8 in wouldn't require a new engine program, just adapting an existing one to a lighter-duty chassis and a different set of emissions targets. That's a fraction of the cost of starting from scratch, and automakers love a fraction of the cost. Plausible. Motivated. Not confirmed. None of what I just said is an official statement from Ford. It's my read on the incentives, based on what's actually documented. Keep that distinction in your head, because it matters for what you do next. Let's play out why this would actually make sense for Ford, because this is where it gets real. A naturally aspirated V8 is mechanically simpler than a twin-turbo V6. Fewer expensive parts to fail once the warranty runs out. For the towing occasionally, hauling gear, rural buyer, that simplicity sells trucks. It's the same psychology that made the Mini-Zilla outsell expectations against the diesel. It's also a differentiation play. Right now, the naturally aspirated V8 pickup conversation is Ford's Coyote versus whatever Ram and GM are running. A heavy-duty proven big-inch V8 in a half-ton would be a genuinely unique pitch and a marketing story that writes itself. And here's the piece of evidence I promised you. It's not a leaked photo or a confirmed program. It's simpler than that, and honestly, more telling. The 6.8 and the 7.3 already share huge chunks of their parts bin inside the Super Duty lineup. Same block architecture, same bore, overlapping hardware. Ford already proved it can take this basic engine family and offer it across different trims and duty levels without starting from scratch. That's not evidence the F-150 swap is happening, but it is evidence that if Ford wanted to do it, the hardest, most expensive part of the job is already done. That's the real reason this rumor has legs instead of dying in a forum thread. I want to be fair, because a lot of channels only show you one side to keep you hooked, and then you feel lied to later. So let's steelman the skeptics. Packaging is a real problem. The Mini-Zilla is a heavy iron block V8 built for a heavy-duty frame. The F-150 has spent a decade going aluminum and weight obsessed. That's friction. Fuel economy regulation is a real problem. Adding a big, non-turbo V8 to your highest volume vehicle line runs against the entire direction the industry is being pushed. Ford would need serious justification to swim upstream on that. And official silence is real too. When something like this is actually in development, mule vehicles usually leak, camouflage near proving grounds, spy shots, a dealer bulletin that gets screenshotted and passed around before anyone official confirms it. As of right now, there's none of that specific to this exact swap. That absence should lower your confidence, even if it doesn't kill the theory outright. Rumors like this can circulate for years in truck communities before ever becoming real, and plenty of them never do. So here's what actually matters for you, right now, today. If you're cross-shopping a 2026 Super Duty, the window is closing. The 6.8 disappears for 2027, and the 7.3 becomes standard, likely with a price increase, because Ford is not going to hand you the bigger engine for free. Right now, upgrading from the 6.8 to the 7.3 is a relatively small option cost on the order guide. Once that upgrade becomes the standard engine, that cost almost certainly gets baked into the truck's base price instead of disappearing. If budget matters to you, buying a 2026 before the changeover could be the smarter money move. And that's not speculation, that's just math on a shrinking timeline. If you're an F-150 shopper waiting on this rumor, don't hold your breath, but don't write it off either. Even in the best case, an adapted engine needs real validation time before it hits a different chassis, different emissions certification, and a completely different customer base than the Super Duty. This is a multi-year watch, not a next model year lock. Don't let a forum post talk you into delaying a purchase you actually need right now. So here's exactly where this stands. Confirmed, the Mini-Zilla is dead in the Super Duty. Rumored, it resurfaces in the F-150. The engineering case is stronger than most rumors ever get. The regulatory case argues hard against it. And Ford isn't saying a word, which, in this industry, usually means a decision hasn't been finalized yet, not that the door is closed. I'm tracking every order guide update and every parts catalog change the moment it drops. And if this moves even an inch, you'll have a video from me the same week. Stories like this tend to break quietly. A single line item in an order guide, a dealer memo, a forum post from someone who works the parts counter, long before any press release makes it official. So subscribe with notifications on now while it's on your mind, because if you wait, you'll miss the moment this actually breaks. Tell me straight in the comments, do you want a real, naturally aspirated V8 back in the F-150, or are you fully sold on the turbo and hybrid future? Are you the kind of buyer who wants fewer moving parts and more peace of mind? Or do you not mind the extra complexity if it means more power and better fuel economy on paper? I read these, and they genuinely shape what I dig into next. If this gave you the real picture instead of the guesswork everyone else is selling you, hit like. It's the only way this reaches more people who are getting fed speculation as fact. And if you want the full breakdown of the 7.3 Godzilla taking over as the new Super Duty standard, that video's linked right here. I'll see you in the next one.